She's just a girl, but she's on fire.
If 95% of success is mindset, how can we recognize when it's our mindset that needs to be fixed, adjusted, cleaned house with, and raised so that we can move forward in our life and create our goals and hit our intentions and create success that we want? Because usually it's the mindset that holds us back. And whether you're stepping out into the world to become an entrepreneur, or even if you're in a job position, if you're competing against someone else for a promotion or a raise, if someone else has a better mindset than you, they're going to get it, right? Or if you're an entrepreneur and someone else has a stronger, clear mindset than you, their business, even though it might be parallel or similar to yours, they may see more success. And it doesn't mean that you can't achieve success and create your own success. It means that you might need to turn the mirror back at yourself and start to see yourself from a deeper perspective. And I'm going to teach you a few things to look at and ways to recognize your own mindset and to see it so that you can start to clear it and move forward. Because we cannot move forward when we have this unknown aspect to ourselves. Being able to recognize and take responsibility for your own mindset is a really, really powerful thing, and I want to talk about that. So mindset can be really tricky. It's kind of like, I'm going to give you a couple metaphors or examples to kind of get you into the mindset of this. It's kind of like wearing glasses on your face. You ever have someone who's like perpetual glasses wearer, and they wear glasses their whole life, and they have those moments where they're like, I can't find my glasses, and they're either like here on the top of their head or they're like there, and so it's kind of like it's something that we wear, it's something that we are being, and that we can get glimmers of ourselves. It's almost like catching a little glimpse of yourself in the mirror, and you're like, oh, I'm wearing that today? Oh, it's terrible. So when we can start to recognize some of our mindset faux pas, we can actually clean them up. But if you don't see them, you're not aware that you actually need to clean them up. And it's something that you might have loved ones or people around you that are recognizing it, but they're not exactly ever going to tell you. Like, no one's ever going to tell you that the outfit you're wearing looks terrible on you. Well, you might have someone say that, but they're not going to be your friend for long, right? So it's not something that we socially do. We don't just, unless you're working with a coach or a mentor who is going to be bold enough to point out to you that, yes, indeed, your mindset is sort of crappy. Or one of the best ways I've discovered over the past few years of being able to work with mindset and being able to recognize what needs to be worked on myself is that we all have edges to our personality, and they show up at different times. I'm going to give you a really common example that everyone has been involved with on one end of the spectrum or another, and that's road rage, right? We've all driven out in our cars, and we've all gotten mad at another driver for some reason. And so that's an edge to ourself. That is us, as what Wayne Dyer would call us getting squeezed, and what's coming out is anger and frustration and discouragement coming out when pressure gets put upon us, or is patience, compassion, empathy coming out? Like, who are we when moments of life are putting a little bit of stress on us? It's, are we taking responsibility in that moment for our part of what did not go right on the road? And usually when we're not taking responsibility, we're angry at the other person and we're overreacting to the other person, or we're just, we're turning into a not safe driver. That is mindset. That is a point of view that you carry, that I'm right and someone else is wrong, right? That's your mindset. That's your belief system coming out and showing you who you are in that moment. So if you can eat a little bit of the humble pie and take a step back and take a deeper look at yourself on those moments, and being in the car and how you are in the car and your relationship to the highway and other drivers is a really, really great place to start to practice this, because if you'll start to see, if you do work on your mindset, when you step out into the highway and start to have these interactions with other drivers, that is your time to practice who you're being and how you're responding in the world. And if you're starting to really do work on your inner world, that will start to naturally change. And so what in the past might have gotten you to stop your car, flip someone off, jump out of the car and scream at someone, you might be just going like, all right, that person's a jerk. And then it might fully, and then it might progress from there, where instead of even calling someone a jerk, you might just be like, I'm going to make a safe choice and just not interact with that person and try to, move away. And when you start to shift your mindset, you will also, by law of attraction, great thing, attract less road rage in your life. You'll attract less crazy drivers around you, right? If it's something that heats you up, you're probably attracting it, because like attracts like. We are magnets, right? We're magnetic beings at the end of the day. John Demartini talks about it as a responsibility date, and it's when we claim our life. We take responsibility for what happens in our life and how we respond to our life. And instead of sitting in the seat of complaining and blaming and saying, well, it's their fault because they should have turned and they were driving too slow, we take responsibility for ourselves as how we are driving on the road and how we are being in the world. And when we can start to do that, we take our power back and we raise our mindset. We're cleaning house, because we're no longer putting all of the, well, whatever happens to me, it's because of this person and that thing and this circumstance. We get out of that cycle of complaining and blaming. And it's a very, very, very powerful thing. Years back, as I stepped onto my entrepreneurial path, I had the very lucky chance meeting of a young entrepreneur who retired himself at age 31, I suppose, a multimillionaire. He had created a company and he sold it. And he was watching me step into my entrepreneurial shoes that were way too big at the moment. But don't tell anybody that. But so anyway, he stopped for a moment and he gave me a piece of advice. And I'll never forget this. Because I asked him, he said, I'm financially free. I created a video game company and I sold it, and that's it. I get to travel the world and do whatever I want. And of course, my jaw had dropped, because it is something that I was seeking to create in my own life. And so I looked right at him and I said, what was the secret? What did you do? You won't believe this. You will not believe his answer. He said, I stopped complaining for 4 years. For 4 years, I did battle with my ego, and I did not let myself complain. He said, I named my ego, I named it Igor, and every time that it wanted to rear its ugly head and blame someone else or complain about a circumstance, I nipped it in the bud. I stopped it. And he said, once I cleaned house on that aspect of myself, my life got clear and I created success. Hi, sweetie, chocolate face. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. We're going to pause for a commercial break and wash someone's face. So inside of Empower Network, we actually have quite a few people who've approached this online business coming to it from a place of handicap. We actually have a blind guy named Ollie, who's really sweet. I'm going to put a picture in the blog post below this video so you can meet him. He's sort of become like an internal superstar, and he's created a very successful Empower Network business. We also have a guy who can't hear. We have a woman with spinal disease. We have people who show up and they have every excuse in the world to not be successful, and they don't let that stop them. And I think that really says something, because they're showing up with a clear mindset. They're showing up with that point of view and that perspective, saying that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the outside world thinks. It doesn't matter what the circumstances of my life are. The only thing that matters is what I desire to create and where I'm going. And they just forge a trail and they don't look back. And I think there's great wisdom and great learning in that. So we have a tool and resource available to members inside of Empower Network, which is phenomenal for helping people to clear out and raise the mindset and really work with the mindset. And it's their audio library series called The Inner Circle. And it's available for people when they become members. Once you join, it's $25 to join, less than a night on the town. And when you become a member, you have access to upgrading to all these amazing tools and resources. And the Inner Circle is one of them that has been really hugely successful in helping people to transform their mindset and move the success of their business life and the success of not just their business life, but their life forward. And really, really, really powerful stuff. And it was really modeled, David Wood, one of the founders of Empower Network, modeled this from his many years of studying and interviewing highly, highly successful people in the home business arena, in the network marketing field. And there's a part of Dave Wood that kind of reminds me of Napoleon Hill in the Think and Grow Rich, because I feel that Dave Wood really has kind of created that. He really set his mind to that, and he spent a good 10 years of his life seeking out people who had created the most ultimate success you can imagine, seeking them out, learning from them, and figuring out what their secrets were. And that's something that is so amazing and wonderful when you get access to the Inner Circle within Empower Network, is you get access to that wisdom that David Wood has gathered over 10 years of his life of learning from these people. And he transformed his own life and he created what he sought after. So it is a very Napoleon Hill type of story. Absolutely. So there is a link below this. Go ahead and click on it. You can go ahead and join us with Empower Network. And then when you do join, you get to work with me and my amazing, amazing team that I love. And we help you in every way possible. We have an amazing support system. And then you can also have access to upgrading to all the amazing tools and educational resources and products within, and the Inner Circle is one of them. So go ahead and click the link below. You can enter your information and get started with us today, and I look forward to working with you on a much deeper level. Have an awesome day. Please leave your comments and thoughts below. I'd love to hear from you. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.